Going on, guys? JD at JD's Custom Buggies. Working on number 7 motor. A few people have asked me about how to adjust your valves or the valve lash. So I figure I'd take a minute because I have to do this anyway and kind of show you and talk you through it. And it's really not that hard. So what I'm going to do is attempt to point this camera down at the head of the motor, and hopefully this will help you guys out. So give me 1 second for a little bit of adjustment. There we go. That should be good enough. Hopefully this is a good view. First thing you want to do is make sure your motor's on top dead center. And that means that the piston is all the way at the top of the stroke. Now once the head is on, you have to figure out where top dead center is, okay? If you're just putting your head on, all you have to do is roll the fan or roll the crankshaft so the piston is at the very top when you install the head. In this case, our head is already on, so let's assume that this is a running motor, and we need to figure out where top dead center is, okay? So a couple of keys. If you've installed your cam correctly from the get, these 2 dots here will be parallel with the head, okay? Or if you're opening up a motor for the first time, stock, that's been running, that you just want to adjust your valve. So these 2 dots, parallel with the head, big circle here at the top of the cam is at the top. The other thing you want to know is, because you could be 180 out when you're turning it over, just to make sure your valves will not be tight against the rockers. They'll have a little play unless they're too tight by nature, but your cam lobes will be facing down. So the rocker won't be hitting the top of the cam lobe, which would normally put pressure on the cam. If you're 180 out, one of these valves will be down. Okay, one of these rockers will be pushing up against the valve. So what I do is I take a screwdriver, I stick it in the spark plug hole, and I rock the fan back and forth, and make sure I'm at the very top, which right there. Okay. So check our cam. Yep, we're good. So both lobes are down. So right now we're loose, and the tappets are loose, okay? Now, you can find this on GotBuggies.com. Now, you can use a regular feeler gauge, or if you don't own a feeler gauge, you're in the market, and you just basically work on, you're working on your buggy, and these are really, really cheap. I think it's $2.99, GotBuggies.com, and it's basically a GY6 feeler gauge. One side is 4, the other side is 5. Now, as far as valve adjustment, again, a couple of different things. One's supposed to be at 4, the other's supposed to be at 5. Anywhere between 4 and 6 thousandths is fine on either valve. I set both of mine at 5. First of all, it's right in the middle of that 4 and 6. Second of all, it's not too tight, not too loose. It's right on the cusp there. And like I said, one of these ends is 4 thousandths, the other end is 5 thousandths. Okay. So what I do is, basically, we're going to stick the 5 thousandths end in here. We're going right between the valve and the tappet. And now this is a Motion Pro. I sell a couple different kinds of tools like this. One comes in a 3-pack of tools just like this for adjusting valves from Universal Parts, and it has 3 different ends and 3 different wrenches. That should cover a whole gamut of different motorcycle engines, GY6 included. The other one is the Motion Pro valve adjusting tool here, which this particular Motion Pro tool is just basically for covers the gear GY6. It has a 9mm. How it works is it's got a little 9mm wrench in there, and then with this thumb screw, it's actually for the square end of the tappet. All right. So how this works is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the thumb screw. It's just kind of how I do things. And we're going to put the 5 thousandths end in. A little handy dandy feeler gauge tool. And I'm right between. Sorry, I got arthritis in my left hand, and sometimes things just fall out of it. Okay, there we go. So what I'm doing is I'm just using my hand. I'm going to use the thumb screw and put a little square bit in there and turn it. Now, I want it so I can slide my tool. I want it to grab the tool, but I don't want it super tight. I want to be able to slide able to slide the, that's a little tight. Okay, so I'm going to back off just a hair, just so I can get a slide in there. Okay. Once you have it close, like I do, stick that over. Okay. So my little wrench end is over the lock adjuster. Make sure I got the right end, my 5/1000 end. Stick this tool back in there. Need glasses too. There we go. So, now I'm going to use the thumb screw to hold. When you got it where you want it, you use the thumb screw to hold it in place, and then turn this wrench. I had this nut way loose, so don't want, I mean, shouldn't have to have it that loose, just break it loose enough to turn the tab it. I didn't come to the class prepared. Okay, there we go. Make sure right where I need to be. Okay. I can get the tool out. It's just a hair loose, so I'm going to tighten it up just a little more. Sometimes when you adjust the lock bolt or lock nut, it does tweak a little bit, the adjustment. Might take a try or two. Once you get a feel for it, it's not so bad. There you go. I can get the tool's nice and snug, but I can get it out. Boom. All right. On the bottom, you do the same thing. I'm gonna get everything a little closer, so I'm not messing with the tool so much. Stick the feeler gauge in there. Get it with my fingers to grab it. Drop the tool. Damn it. All right. There we go. Perfect. Tool snug, but I can get it out. Boom. And that's basically it. You just make sure these nuts are locked down, the tappets are in place, and that's pretty much all there is to it. All right. Basically all I got for you now. Both these tools, I'll put links to them. They are available on gotbuggies.com. And talk about something else real quick. If you need parts, of course, go to gotbuggies.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And going to do a little giveaway once we hit 500 subscribers. At this point that I'm making this video, we have 190. We get to 500, and the what I plan on doing is giving away the same CVT system I installed on number 7 here. Oco clutch, variator, Dr. Pulley 12-gram slide weights, an SSPG torque spring, an SSPG shim kit, and a Banjing faceplate and bell, or drive face and bell. So what we'll do is when we get to that point, I will make a video, and then we'll figure out a way to give it away. But one lucky person is going to win that setup, and then we'll pick 10 others to give a t-shirt to. So again, thank you for tuning in. Please hit subscribe, get your friends to do it if they're into this kind of thing. This is where they need to be. JD's Custom Buggies on YouTube. Alright guys, thanks a lot. JD out.